Welcome to another episode of Alpha Bytes, wherein we connect the Alpha presidents to the district and beyond. Friends, with me I have President Kashinath Sagumale of the Rotary Club of Mulund East. Welcome,
Thank
Kashin.
you, sir. Thank you. Yeah.
His biodata is very short. He is a mechanical engineer by profession, involved in the manufacturing of engineering products such as bellows, flexible hoses, air receivers, and pressure equipment. And they are supplying to the major process industries such as steel, cement, chemical, petrochemical, and gas, etc. They have two manufacturing units, one based at Amarnath and the other in Sholapur. He is happily married to Meenakshi and they are blessed with two kids, one son Dheer and a daughter Diya. And welcome
Thank
to
you.
Alpha Bytes,
Thank
Kashi.
you, sir. Thank you. Yeah.
Let's straight jump into the questions.
Okay.
The first question is, has the four-way test outlived its usefulness? That means whether the four-way test is useful today or not.
Absolutely. It is useful even now, even in future. That is the main fundamental, this thing of this, whatever service to a society. That is the one which has to be followed, by every Rotarian, and it is going to remain even in future in 100 years, 1000 years.
You mean it is relevant?
Absolutely relevant, and one has to while doing any activities for in a moment, one has to really memorize them, before taking any steps. I
Good.
would rather say that,
Good.
Yeah.
So he is one person who is a supporter of the four-way test like me. And I'm sure everybody, not only Rotarians, non-Rotarians should also follow
Absolutely,
the
yeah.
four-way test of the things we think, say and do. Good. Next question.
Yeah.
What difference has Rotary made to your professional and personal life?
Wow, a lot of. And I'll tell you one incident, while I was just joined in Rotary in 1994, and I was absolutely new to the club. And 95, 96, one manager walked into, one of senior Rotarian who was introduced. And he was, and next day I was there at a bank to say that, can you just lend me a money? And one Rotarian, we had hardly any experience, hardly interaction with that Rotarian. And he stood guarantor to my, loans lent by a State Bank of India. I would say that this is the high moral of each Rotarian. I would foresee in every Rotarians. That is what I would say.
That says that in Rotarians we believe.
We believe in all. Of course. And professional, I'll tell you, while I was wearing a Rotary pin, lapel pin, I was there at one of the companies with some commercial director, the big company, looking at my pin. Evening, he called me for a Rotary meeting. Okay, and later on, he happened to be a Rotarian. Next day, I got the contract.
Good. So Rotary made the way open for you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, it opens many gates.
Many gates. See, I'll tell you, you have a right intention to serve the society, not expectation. That comes by automatically.
Definitely. It pays back.
Yeah, it pays back.
Okay, let's go to the next question. What is the one thing that you would like to be remembered for your year as a president?
Well, during my year, I have created RCCs.
Be louder.
5 RCCs, Rotary Community Corps, that is the one, always I was looking at, to get visibility of a Rotary in my area, I must do something locally so that, I can invite more people who can extra hands to, get for that, social, it will be remembered in that way, I would say.
Yeah. Good. So he'll be remembered as the RCC man of his club. Very nice. Okay, now coming down to this, are club projects important, district projects important, or international project? What is the more important for you?
I would say club projects, naturally, because, when commonly we decide, as a club projects, we have to spend more on that, Then we have excess fund, then, maybe in a national and international can go into. That is what I would say.
Okay, but participation is good in outside clubs also, outside area also.
Absolutely, absolutely. Provided, how much funds you have in hand, that is what, basically.
Involvement.
Yeah.
Okay, coming down to next question. This is a very hypothetical question. Should our per capita RI dues be linked to our purchasing parity? In other words, should Rotarians in developing nations pay less dues?
I would say, it is okay. Anyway, whatever we pay to the, Rotary International, and it comes back to us, after 3 years. And only thing is that it attracts only a few people of, higher middle class and, the newer rich people. If you want to get more working hands, like, downtrodden, people, then probably if you make that fees are less, then we may have an extra, social working hands in our fold. That is why I would say, to be linked to
No,
that.
but that is again, you're talking about your club dues. I'm talking about the dues that you pay to the RI.
That's what, See, I'll tell you that today, what dues we collect, okay, probably two-third of that is a, RI dues. Because I'll tell you another example. I have two, this thing. One is 12,000 rupees, other is 6,500. 12,000 rupees I collect, from to my club, out of which 8,900 rupees it goes, okay, to an RI dues by way of, magazine fees, whatever, this thing. But whereas 6,500 I am another which I am collecting, it is for the project purpose I use it, but we end up spending more on to, only on our, services and all, hardly we left with any money to do and, club projects. Suppose the RI dues are less, naturally the instead of 12,000 probably that becomes less, like 10,000, 8,000, or 9,000. Then we'll have more people,
Attract more
attract
members.
more members to the, this thing. I would rather prefer, it should, link with, that,
Good. One last question. Which aspect of Rotary do you enjoy most?
Fellowship.
Fellowship?
Fellowship. Of course, fellowship.
Good.
हम तो इसलिए यहाँ हैं.
So he is a fellowship man and he has given his unbiased views about his opinion about the Rotary. And thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you.